would have happened. I mean, maybe it had to do with the fact that like I thought it wasn't recording on my end, or like just in general. I don't know.
Alrighty, and welcome back to the Shadow of the Apple podcast. It has been a hot minute
It's been a
since we
while.
have been here. Yeah, and we will actually explain that right now. We recorded an episode for the Mets Rockies series, the first one, at home when they got swept, which was just so much fun to recap. It actually was a lot of fun to recap just because of just how bad the Mets were and just having a good laugh about it. But it did not save my partner's audio. So during his recap about the Yankees and the Astros, and us just talking and giving feedback and having a conversation, it just didn't save it. So it sounded like I'm talking to myself. So, and us just, stuff in life getting in the way. But you know what? We are back for another episode and we are hoping to get back on a consistent schedule. Is that right, Ryan?
Hopefully, yeah. But for now, we're
So,
back for right now and do a little recap of everything we haven't talked about over the last few weeks.
yeah. So, I mean, I think you've been watching more baseball than me, honestly, recently.
Yeah,
Your team is doing a lot better than mine. So, I think let's definitely talk about the New York Yankees.
yeah. I mean, so much has happened since we last talked about this. There's been major league debuts. There's been injuries, which there wasn't many of. I mean, I don't think the Yankees dealt with any injuries from opening day up until our last episode. But there's been a few. Yeah, there's been new jerseys. Apparently, there's been
Yup.
so much that's gone on. But I guess I'll start off with the injuries because that was pretty big for the team. Um, Last we talked, I'm pretty sure we said Stanton was dealing with some injuries and they didn't know if he was going to go on the IL or not. He
Mm-hmm.
ended up going on the injured list, and they recalled Jason Dominguez. He performed pretty well while he was playing. He was batting cleanup the last few games, but today he in the first inning, top of the first, he made a play against the wall in the outfield, and he they did concussion tests and everything. So basically, he has a strain in his shoulder. So he went on the injured list after today's game. And they're calling up Spencer Jones to take his roster spot. So I mean, you went from Stanton's bat to Dominguez's bat to Jones's bat. That's some incredible depth. Of course, the injuries suck, but the fact that you're able to make moves like that is very impressive. Which is another thing I want to talk about, the depth of this team. It's been very crucial so far, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be. But yeah, Spencer Jones, number 6 prospect. He's he's been compared to Aaron Judge a lot. I mean, it's a lot of hype, overhype, I should say. He's not Aaron Judge. No one's Aaron Judge, but a lot of people like to call him lefty Aaron Judge. So he's yeah, the number 6
Why?
prospect for the Yankees.
Does he have like a similar like swing to him? Like,
Nah,
does he have a similar like build power?
he's 6'7". He's 6'7", just like Aaron Judge, and he has a lot of power. That's basically all. He's just a similar player.
Dude, you
But yeah,
mentioned Aaron Judge then.
he yeah, in AAA this year he has 11 home runs, and he leads all of baseball, not even just AAA or the minors, even majors. He has the most RBI by a single player with 41. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he does when he comes up. Hopefully, making his debut tomorrow, if not at some point this series against Milwaukee. Um, Tomorrow they're going against, I believe they're going against Jacob Mizorowski tomorrow. So it's could be a rough debut for him because he has a high strikeout percentage. So if anyone's watching right now and you see what he does tomorrow, and if it's not good, don't don't get upset because it's probably the worst matchup for his first game.
Yeah.
But
And I think people might not always remember that sometimes baseball, a lot of it is about matchups. A
hmm
lot. It's all about matchups.
yeah,
How you put players in the lineup, what pitcher you pitch. You know.
yeah, which is something the Yankees have done very well this year, especially with the lineups. I like I've liked Boone's gotten a lot of hate the last few years, basically since he became the manager. But I feel like this year he's doing pretty good, mostly thanks to the fact that it's probably the most complete roster he's had with the Yankees, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But for example, like you're saying with the lineups, the platoon with Ryan McMahon and Ahmed Rosario been pretty solid.
Mets
Um,
legends.
yeah. Speaking of McMahon, he's since we last talked, he's picked that up a lot. He's had a lot of solid at bats, and
He hit a
his
home run
numbers are
recently,
slowing
right?
up. Yeah, I think he had his first 2 home runs since the last episode. Could be mistaken. We definitely had one against the Royals, a big home run.
Yeah, and this is going to be our first live stream. We actually have our first viewer, so I guess if you do want to answer and ask questions about Mets and Yankees and stuff related to the topic, that'd actually be great to spice up the
Yeah.
podcast. So feel free to ask questions. But yeah, I'd say that one thing I want to just mention is that the Yankees have been able to blow out a lot of teams. Like if you go out
Hmm.
to their I feel like every series I watch them, or at least when we do this podcast and we look at the stats or in the scoreboards, like at least one of the games they're beating these teams by like 7-8 runs. How do you
Yeah.
think the Yankees have been able to blow out teams on a consistent basis, Ryan?
Well, I've mentioned this to a lot of Yankees fans who I talk to. It seems like almost every day that you have just one inning where they just put up a crazy number. Um, Today they scored a whole bunch of runs in like I'm pretty sure it was the sixth inning today. They scored like 5 or 6, which gave them the lead. Yeah, I think they just have a great balanced offense. Um, no more in the past they've had too many righties in the lineup. They've had too many home run or strikeout guys. I just feel like it's a very balanced lineup, and most of them are hot at the right time. They're all hot together. It's fun to watch, and yeah, I mean all the way up and down. It's just like a next man up. Work a walk, just get on however you can, and someone will drive you in. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that that's definitely a good way of putting at it. I think the Yankees are just a pretty good team. I think we were kind of expecting them to be a pretty good team. If we look at the standings over here, the Yankees are 1 game in front of the Tampa Bay Rays. So, I haven't really watched a lot about Tampa Bay, but if there's anything you could tell me about them, obviously they're good enough to be
Yeah,
behind New York.
yeah. The Yankees are sitting at 26-12. 3 of those losses came against the Rays. The one series they played against each other. It was at the Trop. The Yankees got swept. Um, the Rays are they're a interesting team. They don't really have many big names. They just have a lot of guys who put the ball in play. They score a lot of their runs on clutch hitting, bloop singles, and bunts, which, no hate towards them. That's, if you're scoring runs, winning games, it's obviously great.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Someone asked, can we get a stat line projection for Spencer Jones tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I could see it. I'm honestly going to say probably 1 for 4. I'll say he'll get his first hit once they're up against the bullpen, but he's probably going to strike out in every at bat against Mizorowski. Just
Yeah,
being honest.
hopefully not. Something I'm looking at when I'm looking at these divisions is that like the other two divisions are not like super duper competitive. Like the Guardians and the Athletics are in first place, but they're only 1 game above 500. Obviously it's still May, but
Hmm.
it's a little interesting to see that the divisions are like not as competitive as you would think.
Yeah, I believe there's only 4 teams in the American League over 500: the Yankees, Rays, and uh, the A's and the Guardians. So yeah, it feels a lot like 2024, where the American League was weaker. Hopefully, the Yankees can take advantage and make it back to the World Series, but that's way ahead
Yeah,
of us.
yeah, we got a good like 4 or 5 months before that feels like.
Hmm.
Um, but one team is probably not going to make the World Series is the New York Mets, who are currently in last place in their division, 14-23. So obviously, I explained what happened at the beginning on why we didn't do these last few series of episodes. But the last time we did an episode, this team was on a 11-game losing streak, and after that we did the episode where they got swept by the Colorado Rockies. So it's obviously a lot has happened. So I mean, they lost the series against the Nationals right afterwards. The Mets, I believe, I'm gonna check this right now, but I believe they have the worst home record in the MLB. They're 6-12 at home this year. So I mean, they haven't been good at home.
Yeah.
They wrapped, and then now they're starting this road trip. They won a series against the Los Angeles Angels, which was pretty cool. The Yankees didn't win a series against the Los Angeles Angels. Fuck with you, but
That's true though.
This is true. They split, but they won a series against the Colorado Rockies. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I didn't really watch a whole bunch of the series, but from what I saw, there's a few things that I saw. One, Juan Soto is starting to hit really, really well. Coming back from injury, not even playing the field, really playing DH because apparently he's not healthy enough to play the field, but he's still healthy enough to hit. And he's been hitting. He had 2 home runs in the 10-5 win. MJ Melendez is like the greatest role player of all time since Jose Iglesias. And they got delayed. I think it was a rain delay, and then there was snow, but they were able to get the snow away. And then they lost today. Jake Christian Scott actually had a pretty solid performance, but then unfortunately the bullpen did not really do its job. But you know what? I mean, they had won 3 in a row going into this game. And you know what that's called, Ryan?
What's that? What's it called?
A winning streak.
Right.
So, Jake McCarthy hit a go-ahead grand slam when it was 2-2 off of Craig Kimbrell, and I mean, why is he on this team?
That was going to be one of my questions. I had no clue he was on the team until I saw today that he gave up a grand slam.
Yeah, I think I would love to answer these chat questions. So I think these questions are all actually for you. It said, "Can I get your number? Is Ryan single?" So Ryan turned his camera on, and Ryan's a clown.
All right, well, we'll keep it to baseball questions here for now.
Yeah, when it comes to the chat, let's definitely. I mean, this is a baseball podcast, so I mean, we're gonna answer the baseball questions that make the most sense. Even though I did think these comments were kind of funny. So, not to put you on the spot, Ryan.
No, I mean, at least we got people in the chat, so that's something good.
Yeah. So, but as I was saying, so I mean, honestly, one of the things that really interests me about this series was Steve Gelb's, and we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but Keith Hernandez and Steve Gelb's have been doing he's been going to every road stadium that they've been to and trying their hot dogs there, and who has the best hot dog in baseball. So him and Keith Hernandez shared a $45 2-foot 1-pound glizzy called the Glizzilla. So, Ryan, if you were put in a situation, right?
Yeah.
Where you had to eat this, would you?
I mean, is there anything special about it, or is it just that it's a huge hot dog?
It's just a really big hot dog, yeah.
I mean, I'd probably try it for the experience, but
yeah, like, would you try it for the experience?
Yeah, that's something probably like I'd assume it's one of the Rockies' most notable concession items. So, yeah.
Look, man, if we ever do we could always go to Colorado.
Yeah.
And try it ourselves.
Yeah, we could
separately.
do that. Yeah, we either cut it in half or each cut our own. We're not pulling a Mets booth kind of situation.
So yeah, I mean the Mets have I guess you could say they've been playing better, but they're still 14-23. So it's like he there's a lot of a lot of space that needs to be made when it comes to the Mets and this team, because there's just a lot of there's a lot of problems, but a lot of it is just because they dig themselves in such a hole. So it's like you kind of have to win a lot in a row,
Hmm.
because they could go like 500 in May and June and they could be a decent team, but because they were so bad in April, I mean, it's a lot of work needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, a good thing at least you can try and look forward to with the Mets is the young players could possibly, I mean, Carson Bench mostly can get more games under his belt. Maybe he'll have a really strong second half. And you also have Lindor coming back. I mean, you barely had any games with Lindor and Soto together. What's like under 15, 10 games? I don't think they've played much together this season. So once those two are in the lineup, they could help put the team on a winning streak. Or I mean, when you're sitting at a record like that, there's just not much that's going to happen that you're not going to consider. Well, this is better at least. So yeah, I mean it's rough, but it's still early. But I mean, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's pretty early, but if they could continue like this, they could pick it up. No one knows. But what I do know is that I saw Juan Soto his first ever leadoff home run this series, right?
Yeah, he did hit leadoff. I think putting Juan Soto at leadoff. I mean, the more I think about it, it's like in my head, I'm like, why did we never think about this? Like, honestly, it's such a no brainer idea. The more I think about it, but it's just like something
Hmm.
that no one really like. I've never really seen Juan Soto bat leadoff. Like, I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
believe he hadn't done it since 2022 or 23.
Yeah,
So
like
I mean, he definitely didn't do it with the Yankees, and I don't think he did it last year with the Mets. So
yeah. So I mean, I personally think I think Juan Soto batting leadoff is a really good idea, and if he's hitting at leadoff, keep him at leadoff. I mean, plain and
yeah, I
simple.
was
I
I was
mean,
gonna ask how you felt about that, or how you thought it affected the team, but I mean, it's just logical. I think the leadoff hitter is usually Lindor, right?
yeah. So I mean, usually they would have. I mean, they usually would have leadoff Lindor bat first. He's an all around hitter. He's
Hmm.
someone that you would want to have leadoff. But I mean, it's been weird because like in 2025 he started off leadoff, and um they kind of like twist and turned starting Lindor and not starting Lindor, and just all that stuff. But this year, they had Lindor at leadoff, then they kind of took him out and they put him back, and then he got hurt. So they've kind of been, now that Lindor is not there, they've been kind of experimenting with who wants to bat leadoff.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
with the way the team's playing, you have a guy like Juan Soto in the lineup. It just makes sense to bat him leadoff, give him the most at bats, the most chances to make impact on the
Yeah,
scoreboard. It
yeah,
just makes sense. Yeah.
and like right now the lineup is, it's crazy how when you think like they have some, like the team is $370 million. I mean, we talked about this millions and millions of times, but like it is pretty baffling just to see. um it's pretty baffling to see the lineup that's created, and I know a lot of it is because of injuries and uh guys that aren't on the team that are still on the payroll, but the lineup is really weird. Like, just you got Austin Slater, Ibanez, Tyrone Taylor. Um, I don't even know who played shortstop today for the Mets. I'm like looking at his name. I don't even like want to pronounce it because I think I'll butcher it badly. Um, but just like it's just insane when you look at it. But my point is that when you have all this slop and you have all these you have guys who just aren't either aren't that good or aren't playing to the expectations, you gotta kind of just put your best player at first. If he's their best player by far and he is their best hitter by far, might as well put him in at leadoff.
Yeah, it's
So
just a
I mean,
logical thing. Anything to get the team going, specifically the offense.
so as you could be as optimistic as we can be. Yo, how we doing, Brad Crouch? I'm good. I hope my partner is good. I mean, the Yankees are playing well, so I think he's doing better. He's doing pretty good. Um, so I'd say that the Mets next series is they're going to Arizona. Um, Big difference in weather. The weather in Colorado was, I want to say, like in the 20s to the 30s, and it's going to be like 103 in Arizona. So definitely a big adjustment, but they'll play 3 games against Arizona. I'm going to pull up these probable pitchers right now. So they're going to have Nolan McLean, Clay Holmes, and to be announced on Sunday. They're arguably their 2 best pitchers, pitching Friday and Saturday. I just hope they give Nolan McLean a win. Every time I feel like I watch Nolan McLean, it feels like I'm watching Jake DeGrom again when he pitches like a bona fide stud and they give him no help and they wind up losing all his starts. Like it's insane to me that they've lost more than they won with Nolan McLean. But hopefully things change. And hopefully things get better, man. And the Yankees will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, and that reminds me of last year, right, with the torpedo home runs and all the
Yeah,
bats.
yeah, the opening series.
So that will be the first series since that. So I don't know if you have anything to say about that series. Milwaukee, they're the Brewers. They are the
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
I don't think there'll be anything related to last year going on really. Um, I mean, there wasn't really an issue between the teams. It was more just the media overblowing torpedo bats. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, they can repeat what they did against them last year. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're going up against Mizorowski tomorrow. He's got nasty stuff. He's another great young pitcher in the game. Um, so we'll see what happens there. I'm not sure who the probables are, to be honest. But I mean, it's
Yeah, they're gonna have their best pitchers batting in this series. They're gonna have Freed, they're gonna have Schlittler, they're gonna have Rodon.
oh yeah,
I
Rodon's
think
coming
his first
back on
start.
Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah, they will be having Carlos Rodon in his first start, so that will be interesting. That could be something that we could talk about
yeah,
in the next episode for sure. Um, I'd say they're gonna have Mizorowski, they're gonna have Kyle Harrison. The Brewers are 19 and 16,
mhm,
so they haven't been the best this year, but the Brewers are always a pesky team from experience. So definitely
mhm.
see how it goes. I don't think that I actually kind of want to mention now that I'm looking at the pitching is just the fact that the Yankees pitching, because of how good the runs have been scored and how good the hitting is, it's kind of been overshadowed by the pitching, but the pitching is doing enough for them to win games because the hitting is
Mhm.
that good. But in that case, that's all you really need. If you just need the pitching to just be decent, if the team is hitting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy with the Yankees. Like I was mentioning before, the depth. That was the other thing I want to talk about was specifically the rotation. I mean, we started the year with Fried, Schlittler, Warren, and Weathers as the starting four. Then we added a fifth starter once we needed one, which was Luis Heel. He made a few starts. They were a little shaky. You can tell the Yankees have urgency this year. They put him down. They called up Elmer Rodriguez. He made his major league debut. He had 2 starts. They were all right. It was more of a, this is going to be like we're calling you up for 2 starts, nothing more, nothing less, unless something crazy happens. So no matter how you perform, it's not going to affect like what the organization really thinks of him. It was more just to see what he has against major league hitters and what he has to work on when he goes back down, which he was put back down so that Rodon can take his spot coming up. But yeah, I mean, they have Luis Heel, they have Elmer Rodriguez, they have Carlos Grange, all sitting in AAA waiting. like we just said, Rodon's coming back, making his first start, and Garrett Cole's still making a few rehab starts. He's on the way back. I mean, the depth is crazy. They have like 8 major league ready rotation pieces.
Yeah, and that's great because I mean that's great for the long term. That's great for the postseason. You've seen it with the Dodgers and why they've been able to win 2 World Series.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because I feel like the Dodgers kind of expected some of their pitchers to get hurt, so that's kind of why they bulked up. But it helped them in the long run in the playoffs. And speaking of players coming back, Sarah Branch actually just asked when will Volpe be called up. So do you have any idea about when Volpe will come?
I don't. I think it'll probably be it. It's the kind of thing where you say it's a good problem to have with the depth. He's been the starting shortstop for the last 3 seasons, and now he's in AAA. So as soon as an injury happens, he'll come up. I don't think there's an actual timetable for it. Uh, so yeah, unless there's an injury or Caballero really slows down, don't think there's not a certain date, but it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's honestly would do it. I don't. There's really we. I mean, it's just honestly, it's more my fault because I just haven't been too locked in lately. I've been watching a lot of New York Knicks playoff basketball. Hopefully, a championship will finally be brought back to New York City. Fuck the Sixers. Let's go Knicks. So hopefully, my kid makes less errors than Volpe, and my kid's a special needs. So, after that, we'll see what happens. We're gonna be hopefully more consistent with this podcast. Our next episode hopefully will be the Mets taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks and the New York Yankees taking on the Brewers. So, is there anything left to say or you want to mention, even if it's not related to baseball, Ryan?
No, not really. It's interesting doing our first one live, so we'll see maybe more of those coming in the future.
Yeah, we have definitely a Mets hater in this chat, which is kind of funny because, this is a Mets and Yankees podcast. So
Yeah,
but
it was
viewers,
expected.
right? So I think that does it for both of us. So once again, this is the Chat About the Apple podcast. This is Ryan. I'm Dylan. Good to be back, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. All right.